What's happening, troops? Welcome to the Third Man Podcast, episode number 2. We're back after a wee cheeky week off, which was primarily my fault, but we're here now. Royal Rumble's this weekend, and I'm joined by the ever-loving Brian and Chris. How you doing this week, boys?
I'm doing fantastic. I think the last one was a bit of a write-off because we had too much whiskey, and it was our third podcast back in an absolute wild bit. Do you know what? We're back here with going to have an absolute belter one tonight. How you doing, Chris?
So. Good, man. Can I just say though, first and foremost, Brian,
yes, on you go.
The podcast has started.
Yes.
Are you prepared?
I remember it started this time.
Brian has got his official alarm clock. We've actually to put an alarm in so that Brian knows it started.
But the banter was too good last week that I absolutely forgot the podcast was even on.
I tell you what was so good last time. The whiskey.
I know.
The whiskey was very good.
That bottle of whiskey you brought, I'll never forget.
What? That was. I think you said that whiskey was named after the town you were brought up in. Was that
no?
Correct?
It's from Fife.
From Fife.
Which is why I sound different from you two.
See, that was one of the compliments we had. Brings variation to the podcast.
A bit of international flavour.
60 miles down the motorway. Is it? How far's Fife to Glasgow? 100 miles?
I'm about 100.
I can't remember.
I'm about 100 miles where I am.
See, I've drove to Aberdeen, so how much is that?
From here?
Aye.
Way further, that's probably like double that.
Aberdeen's not. How much is Fife for Aberdeen? I mean, like
about 100 miles.
So I'm about Aberdeen's further. Oh, what an exciting story. We've had a few guys tonight already. Like,
so tonight we're going to be chatting some Royal Rumble patter. This is for anybody that's listening now, big wrestling fans. Royal Rumble's this weekend, Saturday night. We're going to do some pitches, some predictions, a bit of nonsense on the side, and I guess probably the best place to start is who have we got for winners? What are we thinking?
No, can I just be shush?
Oh my god! I just seen Chris's wearing a Nasty Boys t-shirt.
My Nasty Boys t-shirt.
You've just unleashed a jacket. And it's not even abs, it's just a Nasty Boys t-shirt.
It is a Nasty Boys t-shirt.
Did any of you read Bret Hart's autobiography about Nasty Girl?
I've read his autobiography, but what?
So it was his bit in the side that she would stalk him all the way down America.
Yes.
On the road tours. And he was always playing it down, he was always doing the Bret, I'm not interested, I don't have anything to do with that. The fact is, those two words.
What do you think Bret Hart's fate? He's for Canada,
I don't know.
Texas.
Sounds more like something Bill Goldberg would do.
Bill Goldberg's actor, I didn't. It was Bill Goldberg's fault.
Glad we got to the bottom of that.
Do you know my favourite quote from Bret Hart's autobiography is? I think one of the last paragraphs he's talking about all the journeys he's made and everything, and then he's like, but I'm still bitter, I still hate them, and he calls Shawn Michael a hairless yellow dog.
See, that's right. If
that's before
Bret Hart could put the JFK murder on somebody, he'd put it on Goldberg.
I heard Goldberg was the one that sunk Nagasaki. It was his fault.
It was.
But so tonight we're going to be, I don't know how I got any Nasty Girl. We're like, what, 3 minutes in or something?
The Nasty Boys.
The Nasty Boys.
What I love that.
I am a nasty boy.
You've actually just ripped that maybe. Have I got a wrestling t-shirt on? Hold on, boys, wait for the expense.
The expense?
No, I've got a Vans t-shirt on. No.
What a letdown that was.
Sorry. I can't remember what t-shirt I put on today.
So what are we thinking for Saturday then? What have we got? Who have we got for the men's?
I think it's going to be Punk Rhodes.
Aye.
Or it's going to be Owens.
Are you talking about the main event for whoever?
Oh, I was talking about
who's winning?
Who's winning?
Who's defeating 29 other people?
You're loving that.
That's my new favourite.
I'm going to go for I think Sami Zone or Punk. That's it. I can't see past it in Dale.
So I had a wee look earlier at who I think I followed the link to, but who's favourite for the Royal Rumble, and it's actually CM Punk's number one favourite.
Do you love looking at the 150 to 1 and it's like Vince McMahon and like
the other
Steve Blackman's like 200 to 1, and there's actually idiots out there that will put on Steve Blackman.
They're the most fun ones. I mean, obviously every year you get like who's going to do a one-off return or who's going to have like a small programme, but I'm actually going for Jey Uso this year. I know he's an outsider.
I don't think they will, because they're pushing him too much. I just don't think it'll be him. He might win a Money in the Bank or something, but I just don't think he'll win the Royal Rumble.
What I'll say about Jey Uso is it might be too soon, but they've started the chat of he can't win the big one, which they did with Daniel Bryan, they did with Liv Morgan. They do it. It's a prepping process. You know, that's the kind of like. So I think this is probably the start of something for him. Whether that's it's an interesting one.
Final four, I reckon. Maybe at least final four.
Didn't you boys see starting main event?
I watched it on Sunday.
I was looking for it left, right, and centre on Netflix.
It was on
then
YouTube.
Somebody messaged me like 2 days later. It was on YouTube. And I was like, thanks.
I watched it on the Fire Stick after watching Spank Monster the other night. It was really good.
I just caught Raw today.
It was, no, I mean, to be honest, I feel like this is the first Rumble in a long time. Both the men and women's Rumble that I haven't really got a definite pick for.
I hope Reigns doesn't win it.
I don't think he
will.
I think,
and we need a different storyline get into Mania.
I think it's Punk.
Yeah,
it's not who I'm pitching, but it's logically.
That's got the main event. It's going to be Punk, Rhodes, and then they'll obviously have the other championship. And I think it's going to be Gunther and maybe Uso. I think that's what it's going to be.
I think it'll be interesting because you're looking at the trajectory of the now. CM Punk, he is obviously the odds-on favourite, but I do feel like I wouldn't be surprised if someone else won it.
See when you text us today, Flair. Jen, you were saying back. I think we both thought Ric Flair. Like Kelman, what are you saying?
He's got one more match and one more match.
Let's get one more.
Like you're talking about the Rumbles.
One more. I would love to see Jey Uso get to the final four at least though. I feel like there's a few stories that will get told inside the Rumble. But I mean, looking at Jey Uso's trajectory the last year, definitely one of those guys. I could see them taking an angle where he maybe is the nearly guy again. And you can see him, I mean, in Raw the other night, the frustration when he was talking about just losing out in the title at the Saturday night main event. I think they're going to build up almost like a babyface version of what they're doing with Drew McIntyre, where he's getting more frustrated, he's not winning the big one, he's getting angry about it every week, he's cutting promos about it, and then eventually he'll probably win it. But logistically, it's probably going to be CM Punk. And the thing with CM Punk is that it's the whole story of, the story tells itself, he's never main evented WrestleMania, and I suppose that was what kind of similar to Cody Rhodes last year. The unfinished business in WWE was getting that main event. Whether he wins it or not, maybe a different story, but I do think that it's kind of stars are leaning to CM Punk.
There's something cooking with the whole CM Punk, and it all seems to intertwine, because I've really started to notice there's a lot of, and this just could be my mad little mind, but there's a lot of symmetry between what Drew McIntyre is doing and saying and what Kevin Owens is doing and saying. There's a lot of got your back, watch your back from both of them. You'll notice that they often overlap each other's segments. So I'm wondering if there's kind of like a new faction coming up. Maybe recruit Sami through all of this.
Yep.
I kind of feel like it seems like they're actually going to have...
That would
I know
be
they've
cool, man.
fought at WrestleMania before, but I think they're going to do Kevin and Sami again, but in the new era, and we'll actually get like a match.
Okay,
I think Money in the Bank's going to be the main pay-per-view before. Well, it always is anyway, but I think that's going to be the main decider before WrestleMania. Because
Elimination Chamber.
It's not Money in the Bank.
No, it's Elimination Chamber first of March.
I do apologise, folks. These guys know better than me.
It'll be Elimination Chamber.
Make the noise.
Thank you guys, thank you for that. I think that's going to be the one that's going to be the big decider before. It's not going to be Rumble, because the Rumble winner's always going to have a title shot.
Aye, and also when you actually look how far away WrestleMania is this year, it's like the middle of April.
Aye, there's a fair bit to go.
It's not like it's like the traditional last week in March or first week in April at the latest. I mean, I think it's like the 14th and 15th of April. It's one of the weeks anyway, but you're looking at the amount of twists and turns that it probably will take. They'll no doubt go down the usual route of there'll be the clear one champion against contender, but then you will probably get to Elimination Chamber and there'll be the usual whoever wins that, the main event of that will go into Mania for the other title. But it's fascinating, and I also think similar to what you were saying with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, I wouldn't be surprised. I never actually thought of it, but you're right, there has been quite a lot of overlaps and segments, both kind of similar anger and frustration, a lot of themes of they can't quite get the job done. And also, you look at Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre's past 2 or 3 years. When was the last time they actually won like a big world title or like got the job done?
Well, yeah, Drew had it for about 5 minutes
Aye.
at WrestleMania, but then obviously got scooped
Lost
up by
it right away.
Big
The
Demo.
good thing about
Not
this,
Big Demo, but
the
Damian
good thing about
Priest.
this Rumble is you just don't know who's going to win it. You just don't know who's going to go to WrestleMania. But I think Cody Rhodes with WrestleMania, but you just don't know who his opponent's going to be. So his partner, his opponent, sorry. It's either I think it's going to be Punk or Kevin Owens, but I also think it's going to be Sami Zayn as an outsider.
I'd love to see Sami Zayn get like maybe to the last 4. That's it. I suppose that's a question of its own.
I think he could be a shout for the Iron Man.
Aye,
You
the
know,
longest.
yeah, like I think he could last the longest.
That would be a good story because the two you can imagine doing that is maybe him or Jey Uso. The only the two, and you can imagine them doing like a 45-minute
See
stint.
if they bring Kane out and do Kane again.
I want to see Kane and Kane.
Kane's no coming in.
If
Do you remember when Kane came out
was
at
knockouts,
Knoxville? And
Nobody cares, mate. Nobody
it's not
cares.
called X-Pac Heat anymore. It's called Hogan Heat.
Fucking Heat.
But I was going to say, so yeah, that's men's. What about the women's rumble?
So the women's one's interesting.
I seen Charlotte Flair as a favourite, but I think she's the worst person to go for because you've seen her win it 14, 15, whatever times it is, in as many as 6-7 years, whereas you've watched Ric Flair win it in as many as 30, 35 years.
I think it's an interesting
I
one.
don't want to see her win it, so I'd like to see somebody else, like just know her.
So
See,
Take a pick, boys. Take your picks.
I'm just going to counter that because I do get what you're saying.
But she'll be
totally,
I
because
bet she's a surprise entrant. I
she's
think
not
she'll win
though.
it.
She's announced.
Oh,
They
has
did
she?
was it SmackDown or Raw? They did the video.
You boys are ahead of me because I'm behind.
she's been announced for it.
But they done like a really good vignette, like that just makes her look like a really big. Because she is a big fucking.
She's
deal.
a massive star.
I think it may be
my
Jade
first-
Cargill.
My first point is with Charlotte is why her again is because she is in a shout for the greatest in-ring performer of all time. I put her in the bracket with Michaels and
No,
Ospreay
100%
now,
I get
and that like she is.
I
Phenomenal.
think from a fan point of view, it's just like
It's a bit played out, but what I would
it's
say
one
is
of the ones you're just like no, like it. She is 100% an amazing performer.
But what you've got as well is you've got a fresh opponent for her in Tiffany Stratton, who
Yeah,
has
that's
had
true.
like
But
such
if
a
Tiffany-
good year. So, like
Tiffany
she's-
Stratton beats her, you'd be like, this is fucking brilliant. It's like
That would
But
be
either
huge.
way, I think if Charlotte beats her, you've maybe got that wee eye roll you have, like oh god. But then it puts Tiffany on a trajectory to win that belt back, kind of like with Bianca. I mean that 27 seconds or whatever that match was at SummerSlam is still a
I get that
disaster.
thinking because I
But
don't
she
know,
recovered.
because I don't know who else Tiffany Stratton could fight.
Well, the pick I would go for. I think Charlotte Flair's going to win it. But I would say that
Because
there's
you think of the past few Royal Rumble winners, they've lost so much. Like
I also think back
Bianca Belair and all that.
to the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley match at Mania. I think it was maybe Mania 35, and Charlotte Flair went over on that one. But it was the start of Rhea Ripley really starting to come into her own as an athlete, and I remember everyone was angry about that. Everyone was really upset. Rhea Ripley never got the win. It was a clean. It was in the middle of the ring. Same with Asuka as well. Actually, clean win, and I think that's the sort of thing that, like you're saying, you're like maybe Tiffany Stratton. You could go one of two ways. You could have Charlotte beat her, but it's a close run contest, or you could just put the rocket on Tiffany Stratton and say, look, here you go, you're going to beat the top star in the women's division, and then you're going to go for there. One thing I would say on the side of that though is you look at who else might come back. Becky Lynch, I've got a feeling she might have secretly
I
signed a
think
contract.
Becky Lynch will come back.
She is. She's pretty much confirmed to be back. I think it's the 1-2 combo. You've got Charlotte announced. You know Charlotte's coming. It's like woo, and then that.
I
music,
pop for that music.
I think they'll introduce something new, just and then bring Becky later on.
And I also think that Becky Lynch would be, when you think of, everyone's thinking of like, well, who could be the big star return? And so, I mean, obviously Charlotte Flair's already announced, and I think the reason they announced Charlotte Flair is so that it allows for a surprise big name as well, which I think will be Becky Lynch. Don't think Becky will win it, but if she did, I wouldn't be surprised either, because I feel like Becky and Charlotte, you could put the two of them in that main event position, and whoever they're fighting, they're going to get a shine from the fact that it's a Flair or Becky Lynch in the main event.
Well, that's your two biggest stars of all time within WWE Women's Wrestling. They're very lucky in that way that they have their absolute biggest stars still active and about to both come back. That's like having Cena and Orton loaded up.
Absolutely, aye.
Which, I mean, they do this year, but like in that way, it's phenomenal.
Hold on as well, actually. We were talking about the men's rumble earlier. We didn't even mention John Cena. I totally forgot John Cena's going to be in it.
I'll get to him.
I think John
I'll
Cena.
get to him. Spoiling my match.
I think John Cena's going to win a later match to get him into a title match.
Honestly,
he's not going to win the Rumble. I think he's going to get put out the Rumble, but then I think he's going to win something at Elimination Chamber that puts him into Mania.
That's the thing is, you've got 4 title matches now, and 2 of them are determined at Rumble. So you've still got a ways to go for 2 of them. So there's anything could happen.
So
I think they might do this with Cena this year. Is his send-off is, I think it's because the amount he's done for the company, the amount he's done for kids, the amount he's done for all this kind of stuff. They're going to give him the big send-off that actually beats Ric Flair. Because at some point, somebody is going to beat Ric Flair's record.
I think he deserves it.
I think this is the time it's going to happen. Because who else is going to do it? It's going to be Triple H. It's going to be Randy Orton. It's going to be Edge.
I mean, it could still just be Randy Orton. Like, I would love it to be him because he's a guy that has stayed the whole time.
He's owned every episode.
He has. Every time he's been fit, he's been there. Like, he obviously is a man who had his issues with behaviour and substances in the past and stuff, but he really seems to have turned it around. And like, I think it's hard not to root for Randy Orton.
Orton's definitely a punt. Is Orton in the Rumble? Is he declared for the Rumble?
Well, he's still out injured, so I think you'll probably factor into the ladder.
I think Orton will still need to win another 2, 3. Was it? 2,
I think he's 13 or 14, so he's a wee bit behind.
But
like,
I think this is a year for Cena. It's definitely.
I think it should be Cena, and I think again, I'll you just wait for.
You look at Orton.
I think Cena's good. I know we're talking about Royal Rumble, but I think Mania, Cena's going to be your man. He's going to win. He's going to win the title.
I think he'll have a big year. I mean,
and then he's just going to go out.
I've got a thought about Cena that I'll keep for your picks later.
Just give him the title. Just give him the title up.
But yeah, no. But I heard John Cena's name and nearly had a wee whiz there. But really, it's an exciting Women's Rumble this year. I feel like this is the first year in maybe 2 or 3 years where there's been a lot of big stars return to the women's division just in time for it. And they spent a whole year building up, like say Io Sky, the Bianca Belair's, Naomi's came along quite a lot in the last couple of months as well. I know she's probably not going to come close to winning it, but I definitely feel like I was watching her on Raw last week, and she's getting that Bianca Belair shine. And I don't know if that's something that they can maybe carry into the Intercontinental title or the US title division. But
I think the Women's Rumble, the good thing about the Women's Rumble is anybody can win it.
Aye,
that's a good thing. It's like even Jayden Grace, she signed for TNA, and she's already said she's
not anymore.
No,
she's reportedly signed.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to say signed for TNA. She's left TNA, right? She's signed for WWE, but she's come out this week and says she'll know about the Royal Rumble because she's helping her mum with her 50-50. Right? What a pile of shite. Don't bullshit a bullshitter.
So we'll get. So in terms of the men,
so like she could beat the Rumble, she could win. You get Charlotte, she could win. You've got all these.
Bianca could win. Jade could come back, like you're saying, just eat everyone.
I think
that's a good idea. The Women's Rumble is very exciting because there's so many competitors.
Nia Jax, I mean, like you've got the immovable object, and she could be gunning for Tiffy again.
Stand Nia Jax,
she's grown on me like enormously since she's come back. Because before, I think
her wrestling's got a lot better, but her promos haven't they?
She was really reckless.
Kelman, that's a takeaway.
I say the bevies arrived. But do you know, like thinking about some scenarios in the Rumble, I'd love to see Nia Jax and Piper Niven a moment where they just smash each other.
How good was the segment with Randy Orton and Nia Jax?
That was brilliant.
That was good.
She just thought she was a big shot, and the big man was like, "Fuck you, hen."
I said you were on the Piper in the episode. I think it's an interesting one. So in terms of so for winners, you've got CM Punk, but you would. Who would you like to win it?
So the winners, I think it's going to be CM Punk's going to win the men's,
and for the women's,
and I think Jordan Grace is going to win the ladies. it's going to be Jordan Grace or Charlotte Flair, but I think it's going to be Jordan
Who have you
Grace.
got?
I've got Punk and Charlotte. I think I'm going with the betting odds.
You're going with Sky Bet.
And
You just go Sky Bet.
who have you
Got
got
a wee
for
Aka on it.
who have you got for who you'd like
What's
to
with
win?
your Aka? Oh, that's right.
Oh, how many's Akas, man?
Listen, I know we're talking about wrestling now, right? We heard an Aka on last night in the football.
I don't think that Aka went too well, did it?
Do you know Liverpool bet me for 350 quid?
You should be more angry at PSV.
I had 8 teams on in the football last night, and Liverpool bet me 350 quid. Anyway, let's do the football chat. Because the big Chris won't know what we're on about.
In terms of who you want to win,
Like,
who have you got for who you want to win?
who I want to win,
I don't want to see Juice win because I'm a bit.
See, I want him to win. That's the one I
I'm
want
a
to win.
bit sick of him, fed up of him.
like, I really want Io Sky to win because
I love
I
that.
think
She's
she
brilliant,
is
man.
the most talented person in that company. That flipping kept up in it, and her connection to the crowd, and her in-ring work and everything. I just think she's like, you could do anything where you could put her in a match with either of the champions.
I would not see, but I'd love her to win.
And then for the guys, if I could have anyone, I mean, like, fantasy book it, snap his feet back on and put Bronson Reed in there for me. I miss Bronson Reed so much.
I think
Those matches on Raw,
yeah,
when he'd just be running at somebody else big, like Braun Strowman, and then he was doing it with Seth, and you were just like, you knew Adam Pearce would be
they
screaming.
definitely had big plans for him until that.
Aye, and I think though they did enough with him that when he comes back, it'll be Bronson
If he makes a comeback at Rumble,
big news.
He won't. He's out for ages. He broke his
but
foot. He
you
jumped
think
off
John
a
Cena,
giant
but you think
cage.
John Cena's Royal Rumble return, and they all went, "Oh, he's not going to return for at least 5-6
I think
months."
they'll keep Bronson Reed for another event, even if he had made it back from recovery. I feel like, they might give him the big spot of tossing a lot of folk out that they tend to do with the big guys, but I think he's almost like a mainstay event that they could throw maybe during, or I don't know when he's due back, but talking sake post WrestleMania, the night
I think
after.
it'll be like SummerSlam or something.
Seriously, God,
yeah.
that's a long time. That's a long time. Well, the one I actually want to win is Jey Uso, just because I've really.
I love Jay, man. Like,
Everybody loves Jay, but to be honest, I'm fed up with the Undertaker entrances. It takes like 25 minutes to get in the ring, mate. Going to calm down, just get in the ring and fight.
I think that's for the live crowd, though. I feel like that's something that obviously when you watch it on TV, it's cool, but when you're actually there and that's happening, it feels like a huge event.
you see, like having.
I hate people getting forced on you, and I feel that's what he is.
I feel like sometimes, like, it's like, because my lens is very different because I've got the parent thing as well and a 6-year-old that fucking loves wrestling. So taking her and seeing her react to the
excitement of it.
Can I actually add? I loved that thing you posted the other day, and it was like My Little Pony and wrestlers and all that.
Aye.
I didn't have time to like it, sorry. But I was like, this is going to be the best wrestling match ever. It's going to be so random.
Yeah, she's got like over 40 wrestling figures now, and that's because I'm a vintage enabler. Like, I go, who you wanting?
It's a good to have it, man.
But I think that does sort of skew my perception a wee bit because it's things like we wouldn't show her AEW.
Yep.
Because,
it's too bloody
spikes and houses getting burnt down and that and stuff that I find awesome, but it's just like
if you're showing that to a 6-year-old, it's
and
not.
Things like the Jey Uso resonate with her so much that they're basically a meme in the house, and it's brilliant, and it makes me even more fond of him because of the way. But do you know what's funny? When we went to see them, went to a live event in Newcastle, and she said it was Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, and she was like, they're doing too much comedy, they should wrestle.
We should have named the podcast
and
that.
I think that's maybe the critique of Jey Uso right now, is he is a little bit
it's too
mascotty and he's a little bit...
I just played on it now, that's the thing, it's just, his entrance is like 20 minutes
I like his entrance though.
But he's got a pedigree, he's a legit
the
performer.
fans love it, I think it is amazing watching it live. I think as a fan watching it on Netflix now, because Netflix is amazing. You're just watching it like you just skip.
Have we got a sponsorship? Did I miss something?
you just skip half it.
I feel like I'm watching Ron. Netflix is amazing.
Who would be your greatest surprise I already know.
Oh, I've got a wish list.
Joe Henry is already coming.
I was going to
I
say
feel
that.
like
I think Joe Henry would be a great addition.
I feel like that's borderline
I think
not a
there's gonna be like
surprise because
that.
I feel like he's got it.
He's got a
Oh,
moment.
but they're going to be like, we've got the TNA champion here.
I would love.
We've got Joe Henry.
Do you want my
And,
wee?
I
I'll
think we'll be
rattle.
there.
Go for it.
I'll rattle
Let's
off
hear
a
it.
quick
Let's hear it.
wish list, and you can give your thoughts. Ricky Starks.
I'd love that.
I think he's definitely coming because he's
Very possible.
he's not. You've got Alistair Black. He's coming.
Two of them,
He's got a
The
contract.
thing is, it's like with these guys, and it kind of keeps it interesting. It's like, when is their contract actually up, though? So some of them it might not, but they're all being quiet, and I appreciate it. So number 2, Jordan Grace, your gal, we already said.
He's definitely coming.
Fucking brilliant. Britt Baker, I also thought, because there
Britt
was that
Baker.
kind of.
Why we not
Yes.
talking about Britt
There was
Baker?
that.
How much hate can she have
I love
backstage?
Britt Baker, man.
What if
Feel
we
like-
heard, has anybody heard any stories? Because I haven't.
Well, the chat is that she's still the last word I heard, she's still technically under contract to AEW, but
she can't.
I feel like there's a new story about Britt Baker every week. She cheated on Adam Cole. Nobody likes her backstage. Like,
she put a statement out.
MJF threw a window or something. You know, like,
I don't believe the cheating on the Big Adam stuff because the amount of stories, the amount of stories that came out about him. Why is he wearing fake tan? Why has he got a tummy? Why is it? And I'm like, it's fucking. You're the most annoying wrestling fans ever.
I think with Britt Baker, the main thing is she put a statement out last week saying, "Look, don't believe everything you see on the internet." But I also think there's layers to it. I think I would not be surprised if she was a number 30 entrant in the Royal Rumble. And I also feel like she would be a ready-made star. She's one of the few stars in AEW in the women's division anyway that can talk. Like, she can talk really well. And I also think that when you look at Britt Baker the last 2 or 3 years, she's probably arguably been the face of the AEW women's division. I know Jade Cargill came in for a bit in the TBS division. I know there's been other champions since. But when I think of the women's division, the first star I actually remember them making was Britt Baker.
For me, it's her, Nyla Rose, and then Shida.
Aye.
I think
Where's
they're the
that-
sort
so-
of
so where's
three
that-
horsewomen.
where's-
if you will.
Where's Nyla Rose and Shida now?
Nyla Rose is still there, but I think they're using them so sparingly now in odd collisions. And
You must come out and go like that. Look, I was a star at AEW. What have I done in the last 2 years? Absolutely nothing.
like Shida was huge at one point. Like,
Shida was. Who was like? I watched AEW. And I don't remember the last time I seen Shida.
Man,
Occasionally, the time to
dream
time.
match.
Nyla Rose. I can't tell you the time I last seen Nyla Rose. I have fell back a wee bit AEW in the last couple of weeks, but I couldn't tell you the last time I seen her.
Nah, I think a lot of the time she was getting used in like rampages or like the old AEW darks, but since they've been done away, like I feel they've really struggled to showcase all it.
Why is she not in Ring of Honor then, though? You know,
I know.
like that's the thing. Like, you've got that brand.
It's got to be a contract thing. Must be. I don't know. We're all just spurring forth.
I feel I think that's been a big criticism with AEW in general, though, is that
It's
there's
a
a lot of
fucking
folk,
mess.
and a lot of folks sitting at home. Like there's a lot of people that whether they just don't know how to use them or whether they're
It's madness, like, because AEW was the greatest thing since sliced bread during the lockdown era. How
was
good
great.
was
No, it's
AEW?
brilliant. It's so
It's
good.
amazing. Remember the Stampede and all that.
the
and
pay-per-views,
all that stuff.
Daily's Place
AEW
and,
was
like,
amazing.
I mean,
And
they
then you
had
watch it now
the
and you're
other
like-
wrestlers watching it.
I was
Whereas
watching-
WWE was in like an empty performance center.
I was missing you boys last night, and I was like, "What am I watching? What am I watching? What am I watching?" Brian Cage on steroids.
It's so
like, what's
allegedly.
going on?
It's so
allegedly.
It's so scattershot though. That's the problem.
As
Oh my goodness!
Oh, legend. Thanks very
Thank
much.
you so much.
yes, please. Thank you very much.
A
But
little
you
drink
actually
break.
wa- you
Press
actually-
the button. Press the button.
But you actually watched it last night. I was watching it last night, and I was like, "This is no the EW I watched that I used to watch."
Oh, that's lovely.
I think the biggest problem with AEW at the moment is the long term booking seems to be where they really fall apart, and that was
Well, put it this way, the Death Riders. What's happening to the Death Riders?
the Death Riders is difficult.
That's actually fell out. That was the main storyline. It's in the storyline. It's actually fell off the radar.
The one to me that's indicative of the whole problem is Bobby Lashley, because he signed Bobby Lashley. Because why wouldn't you sign
He's a
Bobby
tag champion now.
Lashley?
He's a no tag champion.
With Shelton, and it was like they brought him in. He beat Swerve on pay per view, and it was like
Swerve Strickland's away. MJF. So the MJF disappeared. Adam Cole's disappeared.
But I feel like he's got. It's almost like
Everybody's
he's got an idea.
All your main wrestlers have disappeared, and you're just watching this, and you're like,
he's got
Do
an
you have
idea
an
for
idea
like
what you're doing?
Bobby can feud with Swerve. Perfect. I'll bring him in and they'll have this match and that'll be that. And then there's nothing
There's
after
nothing
that.
after it.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does have like a vision for Bobby Lashley, but I'm like, they were teasing all that
Bobby Lashley
Ricochet.
is an amazing wrestler. He was good in MMA. He can't talk on the microphone.
That's why you've got Montel Von TV as
That's
Porter
why.
there,
That's why you've got like what's that guy? MVP, right? Do you got MVP? MVP talks to him, right? Because Bobby Lashley cannot talk on a microphone.
The other thing as well, though,
you just said that, sorry.
when you see when you're
SummerSlam night.
You can tell the rum's happening. I was told in a podcast.
see when you actually look at AEW in its first 2 or 3 years, one thing they actually did do really well was tell stories, and I feel like that's one of the things that's fell away the most, is that when I listen to AEW now and watch it, it feels like I'm watching something that's this fragmented. Like, it doesn't feel it's got any continuity. Like you're saying, one match and done.
Hangman Page was amazing. I couldn't even tell you what Hangman Page's story is now.
He's doing something with MJF.
I
I think him and, but like, I mean, it's just all over the place. It's thing, and every so often you'll get something that's absolutely brilliant. But it's, to me, more than anything, it's like watching Vince booked WWE.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's like something that heat. Something just doesn't make any sense.
I feel like there's panic that wasn't there in the first couple of years of AEW, because the first couple of years of AEW
Well, you had a plan then. You had that whole Hangman, and what was that?
The Omega Hangman stuff.
It was
slow
all about
burning.
signing these amazing wrestlers, right? And it's got to that point, right? We're going to send all these ex-WWE guys, and the fact is, you've got all like these wrestlers that are on the show, but you've got a 54-year-old Chris Jericho as your main storyline.
Oh, I mean, don't get me started on Chris Jericho.
Do you not like the Lemon Tree?
What? No, I do not.
There they are.
I can't stand it.
I don't really like the accounts of Kylie Ray's trip to his
And I don't like
dressing
the
room.
to
be honest,
weird, isn't it?
that guy's got a bad stink there.
I had to bin my bit the bubbly t-shirt.
The storyline just makes no sense. A guy thinks he's a cowboy.
What I'm surprised
Chris
at,
Jericho who thinks he's got a lemon tree, and fucking a 7-foot guy that used to be hanging about with Tamori.
I'll stop you there because you're just describing gimmicks at this point. That's the whole thing.
hello.
Man, we'll talk about cats on the
Podcast.
It's the pod. Come to me. Good girl.
So the two boys have just been hugging cats, and the cat's not coming near me because I hate cats.
But no, honestly, I kind of feel like AEW, when that first couple of years, they were all so good at joining storylines together. Omega, Hangman, the women's division. Like, I remember Sheeta's first time run as well, where she had a new opponent every like 5 or 6 weeks, but there was a story in between it.
What was your thoughts on all the hate about Totally Time the Storm?
I loved
that
segment.
That segment was amazing.
Segment.
And it was just hundreds of wrestler haters just going pure. Fucking look at her. She's like 4'2".
Do you know what my
have you
like,
actually measured her with a fucking measuring tape, you fucking prick?
Do you want my guru lifestyle
She's
advice
amazing.
recipe to enjoying things on the internet? Just never fucking read the comments.
See if you get
comments.
in the weeds. If you get in the weeds with comments, man.
It's the fact that segment she was like, I've just played the bloody best part of my life, and I'm like, that's a fucking, you've been playing that for like 2 months now.
And then she
amazing.
And then she's like, I'll rip your bloody tits off. I popped.
It's your racing fan. How could you not enjoy that? So where are all the
Tony Storm?
Where are all the haters for? Because I've seen somebody putting up, is it Sean Assa, whatever his name is, put 3 apples up. I thought, she's as tall as 3 apples.
Oh, Sean Sapp.
Sean Sapp, his fucking name.
The thing is,
behave yourself. Just watch that segment. Watch Mariah May's face. Just watch it.
Well, the fact that they've had a story building all the way back for in last year, Tony Storm probably is, especially if Britt Baker's away, and you're looking at, I mean, I know Mariah May is kind of there or thereabouts, but you're probably looking at Tony Storm and thinking, apart from Mercedes Moné, top star in the women's division, your one dream match I would eventually like to see is Timeless Tony against Mercedes Moné, just as a builder.
And that rounds.
I don't think
Tony Moné.
I don't think there's been a lot of love for Mercedes Moné.
I think
I
a
like
lot of
her,
it's
but she's,
ridiculously unjust with her.
I like her, man.
She's a victim of the AEW booking, and I genuinely think that she would benefit a little more from what WWE offers because of. But I think I always just call her Sasha Banks because it's frankly easier to say it.
I
call her CEO.
But Mercedes she's one of the 4 horsewomen for a reason. She's unbelievably talented. I think you could argue that she had the star quality out of all of them. That's evidenced by her going away and doing acting and stuff. But
didn't you watch The Mandalorian?
Yes.
She was good.
Yeah, she was really
What's
good.
your thoughts on The Mandalorian? It's a lot of bad heat and I love it.
I really, really love The Mandalorian, but I have
What's your thoughts on Boba Fett?
I haven't watched the book of
Boba Fett
yet.
is amazing
Because
there's so much bad heat.
There's so much TV out there, Brian, and I can only manage so many fixations at a time. I have watched something close to 11 hours of wrestling this week, and I've still managed to play an obscene amount of Witcher and watch a Witcher anime.
You've still got more knowledge on wrestling than me this week, and all I've watched is films.
What'd you watch?
What did I watch?
Oh, you watched Night of the Roxbury.
Greatest film ever. Tell me, right? I'd never heard of this film. I know. I'd never heard of this film.
That reminds me of Tomorrow's World.
No, I can't put it on Instagram, you boys, right?
I can't tell what you're watching because you pop it on Facebook.
No, I can't put it on YouTube.
No, but it's like one of the only guys I know that still goes on Facebook and says Brian Riley is watching, and it'll be like a movie, and I'm like, nobody's used that feature in like 15 years.
I'm tweeting this right. I'm getting this on Spotify. This is the greatest film ever. It was.
But you've only had one side on, man.
It was the greatest film ever.
Is this Night of the Roxbury?
Aye.
So for context,
so it's a 1996 film with Will Ferrell.
That's
it. It's based off of it's a spin-off of SNL. It was an SNL skit.
It's based after the guys and then they two started it, and supposedly they hated each other on the set. But see,
is it Chris Karnak, the other guy?
I think so, right? But see, you watch it, you're like, this is the greatest night. This is a great film. As you can tell, one of the boys are disco dancing just now.
That's just turned into a full-on rave.
I was going to say, I got like halfway down my wish list and I'm going to...
So a rave. This is what used to always happen in the podcast. We'd get like half an hour in.
What a film, by the way, man. I watched it again today. Fucking amazing, man. And I laughed as much as I did as I'll take you boys all day.
Thank you.
Aye, that's what used to happen in the podcast all the time. We used to get longer. We'd get an hour in and then it turned into this right.
But no, you need to watch that film. I'm just saying.
Right. Do you want me to go back to
your pitch?
We'll go back to wrestling, right? We'll go back to wrestling.
For Britt Baker to
by the way,
control the wheel and drove us off.
We should call this Night at the Rumble. We should call this Night at the Rumble.
A night at the Roxbury Rumble.
Oh God. Anyway. What is it?
At least there's two days laughing.
Next on my wish list is Hikaleu. Where's my boy? Where's my boy?
Oh my God.
Where's my tall Tongan boy?
That would be good.
How long has he been signed?
Man, like, especially even if they were planning maybe putting him to NXT, having him come out at the Rumble first and getting a big splash, could see him maybe being the guy that's the next NXT champion, man.
I think, like, out of Haku's boys, he's probably the most exciting because Tama's amazing, but Tama's been in it a long time. Tongaloa is also there,
fresh face,
and then he's huge as well. He's a big lad.
It's a fresh face to go on it as well.
Other names, Alexa Bliss. I feel like that's just a matter of time at this point.
Yeah, is she signed? Is she? I mean, if she
Nothing's
has,
given up.
I thought at first, my first thought with Alexa Bliss is, would they go back down the Fiend sort of angle and put her on the Y6? But I don't know if obviously they've already got a female in that group, so you're looking at it and you're thinking, does it upset the dynamic of that? And also, when you take the romanticism out of Alexa Bliss's time as, what was it, Sister Abigail she was? when she was doing that, I felt like...
Well, I think she was just, it was just Alexa Bliss.
Aye,
but
she
it
was just
all
like
kind of
all dragged out and dark.
But don't forget she tagged with Nikki Cross, so there's quite a lot of history there. I don't know if I'd necessarily put her with the Wyatt Six. I don't think she needs it, and I don't think that's what you do with Alexa Bliss. That's its own entity. It's doing.
I feel like it's a
thing.
chapter of her career that doesn't really need to be revisited. It's
There's
not
other
really
ways
a
to
character.
honour. There's other ways to honour Bray Wyatt in her career
Aye.
than just smashing her into like the most appropriate faction.
No, and also I think if you do that, you're almost taking away the chance to have rivalries with a lot of people, because I feel like once they go into that group, it's segmented into one full rivalry. Like so,
You're kind of based around whoever Bo Dallas is feuding. It's like
Whereas if she comes back on her own, it opens the door suddenly to about 7 or 8 different rivalries.
So, if you boys were a wrestler, what would your entrance music be?
Ooh.
Here's time for a bombshell. I was a wrestler.
When?
I mean, not really. I did backyard though.
I love this.
I had a gimmick. I had a name. I had entrance music.
Was it Chris Vicious?
It was Chris Vicious, baby.
So this actually loves
The
it.
boy in my bucket called me Flying Dying Brian.
Flying Dying Brian.
And so my music was
He's a massive wrestling fan because he calls me Flying Dying Brian. I'm like, I see he's actually got his phone Flying Dying Brian. I'm like,
It's tragic.
my entrance music
What would your entrance music
it
be?
was Pretty Handsome Awkward by the U's.
Oh, nice.
What would yours be?
Nice. Shawn Michaels, because I want to dance about.
Do you know what mine would be?
Get my tits out.
Is this just an excuse? Yeah. On the way to the ring, Roy Rodney Piper.
What that
Can I just say, shout out to you, Brian, for calling Rodney Piper, Roy Piper, and Rodney Piper in the same episode.
I know he turned into the 3 faces of Piper. I was expecting.
You sent me that in for Rodney Piper. I was like, he's actually Rodney Piper's my favourite wrestler.
I heard.
Then it's Mick
Oh,
Foley.
we've got the episode. We've got a full.
I heard on the
Full spiel on Rodney
podcast.
Piper.
Thanks, guys. But that'd be my theme tune.
Who was your second favourite Snake the Jake?
Mick Foley.
Happy days, man. What was your rest of your pitches?
So, right, next one, Matt Cardona. That just makes sense. He's choking to come back to WWE. His wife is there, but specifically Matt Cardona. Because
Instead
I
of-
think Zack Ryder's dead.
He's definitely coming back.
This is the thing, though.
I think he'll last maybe about 5-10 minutes and then go chucked out.
I don't know. Right, so I prefer the Matt Cardona character, but I also think if the woo 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 went in the middle of the Royal Rumble, it'd be a huge spot.
I don't think that happened because
So many.
But you could have your cake and eat it, where you do that and then you do the needle drop, and then in his like downstate.
I don't think a lot of fans
that'd be
knew.
cool.
Double pop.
I
baby.
don't think a lot of fans now would know that because he's
You're
changed
right
his
enough.
character so much.
I think people would remember
Aye,
Zack
aye.
Ryder, but I would rather they
Old school
met
wrestling fans,
Matt
but I don't think they
Cardona.
would know. I don't think you get that.
Right,
Right.
I've just got 2 more, and this one's a mini pitch. So, TNA Tag Team Champions, Jeff Hardy in the Rumble,
Oh,
please. Rumble, bum, 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 bum.
Does his wee dance?
Then have, I don't know, like A-Town Down Under or something,
Put them up.
picking on him, and then we get the, oh yeah, and we get some broken man
That'd be.
up in this Rumble.
I'll eat that.
How
That'd
good
be
would it be
cool.
if you've got Matt Hardy, right? And they got Matt Hardy
Well,
point 2, right? And they got broken Matt Hardy.
The 2
You get
faces of Hardy.
the three faces of Matt Hardy. How good
You'd
would that
have
be?
Willow come out, Jeff Hardy
Oh
as
my
Willow.
God.
The three faces
That would
of
be
Matt
really
Hardy.
cool.
And then
How much money would that save you as well as Triple H?
my last one is another tag team, and it's a tag team I desperately miss. It's the Iconics.
That'd be cool.
I miss them
That'd be
both
fun.
so much.
That'd be fun.
Iconics were...
Billy Kay and
Oh,
Peyton Royce,
because she got pregnant with Big
Sean
Ken O.
Spears.
That'd be cool.
Well, they're both like
What's Billy Kay? I know what she did. She got with Duff with fucking Big Mac 10, but what's Billy Kay doing?
Probably waiting for a call to the Rumble.
I think she's acting mostly, but like I feel like they are both just sitting, and even for like a Rumble appearance, you know, like
And
I thought they were a really underrated
when we
tag
spoke
team as
about
well.
it, Nikki Bella's coming back.
yeah.
Is she actually?
Yeah.
Is that? What, is she going to be in the Rumble?
I don't think
she
there's anything
she
signed,
spoke about
but-
on social media is I will come back to WWE. I will come back to WWE.
Wait, is this-
Remember she done that wee dance? on the first episode.
See, that's
on
it.
Netflix.
I know a lot
All
of
she
folk.
spoke about is I want to come back.
I know a lot of folk don't like Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, but they're huge stars, man. I think that'd be
What was your thoughts on the Bella twins?
I think
I'll ask yours.
I think I've watched every episode of Total Divas, so I fucking love
I
the
love
Bella
Total
twins.
Divas.
Total stars.
We used to have a Total Divas Thursday.
We would have a Total Divas Thursday, right?
Yeah.
We would sit and I'd go to his gaff on a Thursday by 10 o'clock at night, bring two bottles of vodka, and we'd just start drinking. We'd watch,
Just one each.
just the one 700.
Honestly, we would just start watching
We
Total
watched
Divas,
Total
right?
Divas all night.
And we get our season through. And
That's it.
then we
I'm
forget what
jealous.
season we're at, right? And then
We can recreate it.
Then I'd go through next Thursday, right? We did FIFA Thursday, right? Play FIFA, right? And I bought a vodka. And then we'd get
There's
through
a lot of vodka going on.
we'd get through like one episode of the Divas. I think eventually we got 2.5 seasons the Divas. But I'm no big enough coming back. No.
That's one thing I was going to
I
ask.
think it'd be good.
Like a Rumble
For
appearance.
I think it'd be cool as a Rumble appearance.
TV wise, I think it'd be good. Make a bit of money. But I wouldn't be interested.
Do you know the other thing
in
about the
like-
Bellas? They can talk. They're good in the mic. There's one thing that I always remember from them.
I
They can
think
talk.
I think it is a little bit of the old yin and yang, where I think, but I will say to her credit, like Nikki really improved in the ring.
Aye.
I think she's always had like quite a good charisma, whereas Brie was a bit more wooden on the mic. But she was like sparring with Debray,
Oh,
you know, like
absolutely.
so she's
As,
she was a bit sharper in the ring always. I thought.
Was it the
I
ever?
like the Bella
Was it
twins.
I couldn't never get into the Bella twins.
Was it the-
get them?
I think it
But I
was
think it's
the.
because of me and you watching
Aye.
Divas.
Well, I think it was the Evolution pay per view, the all women's one, and it
Aye.
was. I'm pretty sure it was Nikki Bella against. I want to say it was Trish Stratus, but it might have been Charlotte Flair against Trish Stratus. But I remember Nikki Bella's match stealing the show, and it was the first time where I watched one of her matches and thought she can actually go. Like it's no.
There was a period like quite late on in her run that you could tell she was really putting work in, and I think when you see that with any performer, you just want to root for them. It's like you see it with Maxine Dupree as well, like the amount of work she's put
Also,
in.
I have to give Nikki Bella credit as one of only 2 people that's made me cry at a live event. I cried when her and John Cena got engaged at WrestleMania.
For fuck's sake,
So the ramp's there, and the proposal happens on the ramp. We're sitting literally about 5 minutes away from the ramp. I just burst into tears. Like this is a lot. I burst into tears thinking about it.
My most random wrestling event was sitting in your old gaff, and we had to rewatch.
I thought you meant an actual live event. That's like, well, that mad we thought we were the wrestling.
We had to rewatch the AJ Styles and Undertaker match because
that
we
was
were
so
both
good.
we were both steaming, right, Ricky Steamboats, and we had to go like that match just happened.
That was my favourite.
And we actually
weekend,
we had to rewatch it again and we're like,
No,
should we just imagine that?
I actually remember that morning. That was the same
That was
morning.
brilliant,
I got
man.
a phone call off Brian Fulton saying we're probably not going to open anytime soon. Royal Rumble and WrestleMania was on that same night. I remember literally as soon as it sounds terrible, but as soon as I get that call, I was like, here we go. Went down to the shop, helped myself a wee pick and mix of rum, and watched Mania. And I remember being like, you know that way you're like, well, all my plans have been cancelled for the foreseeable, so
Forever.
my biggest main event of the week is going to be watching a Boneyard match.
Aye.
Which I thought was.
I know this.
I
I know
love the
this.
Boneyard
so good.
match.
I know this is a Rumble like podcast, right? But what was everybody's thoughts on the John Cena Bray Wyatt match at Mania?
I liked it. I loved it.
I didn't enjoy it.
Do you know what I liked about it? It was.
But remember the Orton one?
Aye.
Do you know what
I didn't enjoy it, but I really enjoyed the AJ Styles Undertaker.
Oh, I thought they were both right for different reasons.
I didn't enjoy the John Styles one. I didn't enjoy the.
I loved it.
I thought it was really resilient. I felt like, see, watching. So the AJ Styles Taker match was great because of the presentation of it.
I just thought
It was like an action
It was,
scene.
it was like
from-
watching Terminator.
It was just,
Yeah.
I mean, you watching it like,
It's
did,
so good.
did we take fucking Eckies during this? Did this actually happen?
And then-
and we actually just genuinely had to watch it again. Like,
But then you're
the
watching.
same hand.
You're watching the Cena, like the Cena Fiend match as well, though, and you're watching this almost like the ideal sort of match that Fiend always wanted to have, but he could never quite have because it was shot in the arena. Suddenly, COVID was there. It gave him this advantage of, well, we can shoot this differently. I loved the segments of it as well, where suddenly you had like the NWO Eric Bischoff part in it, the part where John Cena's getting insecure. There was so many stories told in that one like 15-minute match that when even now, I still think like. Don't get me wrong, I find it quite hard watching a lot of the COVID style episodes because it feels soulless, but that is one of the matches I look at and I think, do you know what, that still stands the test of time.
Those are the two things that I go back, that and the Money in the Bank match.
You're going to talk about, I'm going to say, the one in the WWE building.
Aye, when Rey Mysterio
that was so good.
It's just get chucked to the building like.
Rey Mysterio lost an eye during COVID. Like,
big man get chucked that 40 foot and just lost an eye.
Boy suffered, no wonder.
That is still tragic.
How when Asuka was just lifting that title and you're like,
that
was ended it.
That was when I was going to say earlier actually.
What if I just watched? Am I stoned? Have I took something? I was like, that was one of the greatest pay-per-view ever. Was
I often ask that about you. I'm like, is he took something?
No, but I love it.
Was you in that bus?
I'm always on the edge, right? I love it. Right, it's just the way I roll. Right?
Have you remembered that I have a moustache?
What?
Have you remembered the moustache?
You have a Hitler moustache? No,
it's not a Hitler moustache.
You've been shaved it properly.
What?
You've not shaved it properly either.
What do you mean? Don't touch my face.
Give me a look. No, give me a look. There's a wee bit under there. You've no shaved properly.
Oh, have I got a bit of patch
You've still
there?
got a full beard under there.
God, we'll figure that
out. Listen, big man notices these things.
Do you know, see, just thinking about pitches again, I was thinking when we were talking about like specifically that Money in the Bank where they're brawling through the stadium in Connecticut Towers. I'd love to have seen Asuka against Shida. I feel like, and I also think that Asuka it would be something that I don't think she'd do it, but I'd love to see her come in the Rumble. And even if it was just like a brief moment with Io Sky or something similar to that.
See, they've just sold the Towers.
Aye. Titan Towers is gone.
Is it 3.5 million, is it? You'll know better than me.
I don't even know actually.
I think it's 3.5 million I've sold.
Money gets above a certain amount and I just lose interest. I'm just like,
Connecticut Towers have been sold. I'm adamant it's 3.5. I could be wrong, boys. But I remember reading 3.5 million it's been sold for.
I would love to see Asuka in the Rumble though, but I don't think she'd do it. She seems like the sort. I know she retired to be a mum and family woman, and I know the way Asuka is as a person probably wouldn't be into it, but there's that curiosity factor with me where I feel like a moment with her and Io Sky in it, or if Charlotte Flair is, as she's declared going to be in it,
apparently Asuka's ready. And they've got creative plans. Well, they're saying they're looking at creative plans for her. And usually like a week, well no, even a week, it's what, 2 days to the Rumble?
Aye.
That's exciting.
What's your plans for Rumble?
Watch the Rumble, basically. Like,
what's your plans?
I'm DJing, and then...
Oh, of course,
of course, Kelman is.
But the cool thing is...
Kelman doesn't plan these holidays.
The cool thing is, because it's in Netflix now, as I found out the other day, I can watch it right from the go now. I know you could do that in the network with the pay-per-views,
I was
but it's so cool.
I kept forgetting about it, right? And I was watching it today, and then I was getting adverts, and I was like, fucking adverts. And I was like, well, I can skip these. I just hit right in my controller, skipping them all. This is brilliant.
So we all watched it on Netflix this week, Raw, right?
I watched all. Aye.
Did anyone else get confused to utter fuck when after the Cody match it was like made in Georgia, and then there was like 20 minutes of fucking Raw left, and I was like, what's happening?
I'm finding like
I didn't get that. I got to the end of Raw, and it was just CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. And they're squaring off each other.
Did you see that though? Like, the Made in Georgia logo.
Heavy cool.
But like,
it was a bit different.
Get an extra 20 minutes because I waited to skip it because I thought this can't have been the Raw because this has went too quick.
Do you know what it felt like?
I'm used to being 3 hours, so I went quick and it's like,
because they had
15 seconds left. Is that?
They had the whole like credits up in that.
I love that part.
So. Are they just kind of like, it's like they're televising the live bit now, which is kind of cool if it's, especially if it is like looser and you're kind of like after hours. Like I'm saying, we should just record the hour of patter after the podcast and sell it on Patreon. Paywall that shit.
We should paywall that. We should definitely paywall that. See the amount of lost moments we got in that last one where we put songs on and for 3 minutes it was just nonsense. But like, see the credits part.
Imagine put songs on all the time.
We're going to have to pay PRS.
I know, we'll end up getting the episode cancelled. No, it was one thing I've actually really liked about Raw is the credits at the end. It reminds me of the old WCW ones.
Actually, some says like director Paul Levesque.
Who's the other guy? There's another guy.
Lee Fitting.
Lee Fitting, aye.
Google him.
Wait,
that's a treat.
Is it going to be?
He used to work at ESPN, so he's like, I think he's very qualified for the job, but he left there under a cloud of abuse accusations that have all surfaced recently. So I don't,
That sounds very WWE. Aye, because it's
still a better person than Linda McMahon, but that's not a high bar. But I don't really know what's happened with that. Like,
no, it's a mental one though, because whenever I see the ending credits, I remember on WCW it was the exact same. It was Derek Bischoff's name. And then I think it was maybe Brad not Brad Maddox. No, it was Harvey Schiller, I think it was Brad Maddox.
Oh wait a minute, was Brad Maddox the one that one's pumping? What's her face? I don't want to see it.
This episode's taking a turn.
I don't want to see it.
Don't say it.
I'm going back PG.
Let's just leave that.
I'm going back PG.
He was a very good producer.
You're right.
Is it
PG you're right, Brian.
PG was back gardener.
You're right.
Gardened somebody's back garden.
Brian, you are right. Brad Maddox is the one that pumped Ryback when he was that dodgy referee in that match. No, that's what you meant.
No, he was a back gardener.
Let's
PG back gardener. He gardens. He done Cindy's back garden.
Let's move on. Somebody pitch a Rumble.
So the biggest picture that I've got for the Rumble is I feel like at some point in it, I think we might actually. So I know I kind of spoiled it by saying Asuka, but I would love Asuka to come back in. I'd love her to have that moment with Io Sky. I'd also like her to have that throwback with Bianca Belair, the power moves between them for like 2 minutes. You know that way when there's always that middle part of the Royal Rumble when everyone's in the corner and there's like two people showcased in the middle. I would love something like that between Bianca Belair and Asuka where they just get like a 2 minute reel of big moves.
Well, they've got that history because it was Asuka that took the belt off Bianca. Mind that it was that like she tried to spray her and she failed and then she just like put her hand in her mouth and rubbed it in her eyes. That was a genius finish. I love that.
I would love that.
That's why I love the women's Royal Rumble because there's so much more that can happen compared to the men's Royal Rumble.
Do you know what's so good about the women's is it's invariably more exciting because it's newer and like new records are being made and you see new things.
They need to try to bring new stars out as well. Whereas the men's Royal Rumble they need to bring out the X stars. You mean you're getting Brutus the Barber Beefcake coming out as number fucking 17.
Probably know
Steve
this
Lombardi. Steve Lombardi coming out as 18th and you're like.
That's one thing that I think
that's
one thing the Women's Rumbles came a long way from because when you look at the first two Women's Rumbles it was constantly because they were still trying to build stars at that point. For the most part it was a lot of returns, it was trying to fill up the number 30 it was like how can we get 30 wrestlers in the ring? Whereas now it's almost went full circle to the point where it's the Guys Rumble. On the Guys Rumble, one pitch I would love to see and I think they actually put the seeds to it a few weeks ago is Pat McAfee getting involved to get Dom eliminated and building up to Dom against Pat McAfee at Mania. It was like a few weeks ago there was something doing the rounds on WWE Reels. It wasn't even addressed on Raw, but it was during I think it was Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan the title match they debuted on Netflix, and he actually he goes like that during it. He's like I think Dom says something, counts 1, 2, Pat McAfee hits out with you can't even catch, you're dumb.
There's actually
they two start going at it.
Actually chat of Rhea Ripley getting the men's Royal Rumble this year.
Aye.
I don't want her to do that because
I don't want to either.
I feel
but there's actually chat.
I get it. I remember it happened with China, but I feel like it would take the shine away for how good the Women's Rumble was.
Awesome Kong not do it when she was Karma as well.
That's
right.
She
did. Awesome Kong, and you had
Beth Phoenix. She kissed the Great Khali.
You had Nia Jax as well. But there's chat of Rhea Ripley getting in as the men's Royal Rumble this year. No, there's actually chat getting has both this year.
My only objection
somehow because you know she's the champion. But there's chat of getting into this year and winning it and just then somebody wins it.
My only objection to it is that I feel like space in the men's Rumble's never been at a premium.
Yeah.
And if you want put her in a match on Royal Rumble, then fucking like go the distance and book a second women's match and have her defend her title.
Next year's the 22 nights.
Aye, which I think
Saudi Arabia next year, isn't it?
I don't think that's a good move.
I
don't. I think it's just
I don't like.
I'm not against bombs, so I think the Royal Rumble for one night is a good night. You don't need 2 nights.
It's exciting. But the attention span, there's an argument 2 ways, because I feel like the attention span of 2 Rumbles after an hour match, 2 1 hour matches on average is quite
I
a
think
lot.
it depends.
I'll put it this way. Remember us doing that Randy us putting that night on for WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm.
I was struggling that second night. I was like,
Aye,
I thought I could have barely seen this. I didn't mean I could have barely seen it. I was actually like, shut up, man. I was like,
I do sort of think,
because it ends up, it's not 2 nights, it's 3 nights. Because you're Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and you're like, and remember, you didn't even stay there Sunday night. You fucked off to go to your bed, and I get left with it. And Kelman's like, fuck, you'll be fine, mate. You'll be alright. I'm sitting there like all night, fucking watching WrestleMania feed like that. One feed on here, one feed on there. 2 of them half laps, and I'm like, and then you gave away a guest table right there with the laptops were, and I was like, I couldn't stay tapping the laptops because you gave the fucking table away. Honestly, that was the most frustrating night of my life, man.
it's hot beef.
It's hot chili.
Hot chili.
It's not even hot beef, it's hot chili. I'll get beef for Kelvin for that night, and he knows it.
I would get a bit against it.
I get left to deal with that night.
I think
everybody in the world went in that night because it was Undertaker, Cody Rhodes, The Rock, fucking everybody, and I'm sitting there like and fucking this pub trying to get a feeling.
You got to be around the applause. Everyone's into it, man.
Everyone agrees with you, Brian.
I've got my bed. Man, you prick. I'll never forgive you for that.
Shoot, Brian.
Sorry. I'm shooting right now. I'm shooting like fucking
Brian Pillar over here. No wonder getting flying down.
The guys get guns.
But no, I wouldn't be against it going to 2 nights. I feel like if it was 2 nights,
as long as we put a DJ night on, you fucking do the 2 DJ nights with me and not leave me to myself.
I wouldn't be
you get lying in a kit like and me fucking sitting in the lap every cut like why is there 2 fucking frames on them like that? Fucking cunt, go back to your bed.
Wouldn't he be against it going to 2 nights? Wouldn't he be against it going to 2 nights? But I can also see the argument for keeping it 1 night.
I genuinely think there's good and bad. Like, it depends what they do with it. If you get like 2 to 3 hour nights, that's,
I mean, if you're watching your
great.
house, that's good.
That's where I watch things.
No, you're
generally.
DJing in a fucking pub 2 nights yourself. Chris Kelman.
I think 1 night would be great, man, but I can see why 2 nights. The thing is, see from a punter point of view, if you had 2 nights, I know you're like all the stress of doing 2 DJ nights, whatever, but see if you're like a punter and you've got 2 nights of events, that's like a pure.
It's a wee festival.
I think it's just it's a matter of fact you gave her that table, mate. And it's over the laptop, so and I couldn't get a hold of them because you gave that table away to a couple.
They had a good night.
I don't fucking care, mate. I had to go on their laptops to sort stuff, and I couldn't get to it.
Brian, do you know what the good thing is? At least you're not still hung up on it.
You've clearly moved on. You've moved on with your life.
I feel like ripping your Nasty Boys t-shirt, putting on me and treating him nasty.
Right.
That's a sexy idea.
I feel so strongly sexy for this.
Yes, but we've actually still got 2 matches we've not spoke about. The world title match at Royal Rumble, Owens, Rhodes. I didn't realise it was a ladder match. When did that? Was that?
Is that Cody Rhodes and Owens?
Aye, because of the double belts. So
that must have been right under my radar because I was when I clicked in the card earlier. I knew they were fighting, but I didn't realise it was ladder.
It's been a ladder match.
I think something's going to happen. I think it's going to be Kevin Owens. I genuinely think it's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zone.
Sami Zone.
Because I'm still in the zone.
Brian, are you in the Sami Zone?
Rodney Piper.
No, I'm still in the zone with him.
Roy Rodney Piper versus Sami Zone.
Coming in out even
at Money in the Bank before Mania.
I'm such an angry
Team Rumble.
I think it's going to be Kevin Owens.
See, actually, I feel like it can only be Cody Rhodes, but I've never even thought of it.
I can't see it being a third main in a row with Cody Rhodes.
I think it will be.
That's all I want. Speaking of crying at live events, see the first time I saw American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, I cried.
He's
I was just so emotional.
He's some man. His star power's huge as well, but I think this might be the main eye he loses because he said.
Do you not feel?
I cried at Royal Rumble '99 just because I never seen Mick Foley's entrance.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
I think that. That was the greatest wrestling match.
I met Mick Foley. He's fucking massive.
We met him, haven't we?
We were at his Q&A. That was the one.
Was that the
Mark
Edge
Dallas
of
got
it?
chucked out. Fucking mad.
Chucked out.
Absolutely mad.
Well, you know it's a good thing if you chuck Mark Dallas out of it.
Remember that one? We went to Crystal Palace. I went to the Jim Ross one.
Oh, Jim Ross. He's doing another one in Glasgow. I noticed
really?
that.
Remember the Shawn Michaels one?
Well, I seen Jim Ross was advertising inside the ropes for, I think it's March.
We should go.
March.
We talked about the podcast. That Shawn Michaels one was mental, right? They shone light on me, thinking I was what was he in Big
Wolfgang.
Right, so,
And he had to do the move.
Right, so basically the whole fucking room. This is embarrassing, right? The whole room is in dark, right? And Shawn Michaels is talking about NXT UK wrestlers coming to WWE and NXT and stuff like that, right? Hey, silence. Yeah, we just want to thank our NXT wrestlers, UK wrestlers come to NXT to support us, right? Like Wolfgang, right? Shine the camera on me, right? I'm standing at the tab, because he walked in the garage each time, right? I'm standing at the tab of the banister of him like that. Just getting a thumbs up. Cunts are cheering me. And I'm like that. Pal, you've got the camera on the wrong guy here. You get light on the wrong guy here.
I'm no pals with your coffee.
No, they thought they thought I was Wolfgang. I'm like, what?
Wolfgang.
Sami Zone and Wolfgang.
I'm going to make a line of t-shirts just based off of your mispronunciation.
Rodney Piper.
Rodney Piper, Wolfgang, Sami Zone.
No, they put the camera on me, right? Me and him are just on there, and I'm like, getting the thumbs up, like. Everyone is cheering, right? Everyone downstairs, there's about 300 people on the chairs cheering like that. Yes! And I'm just like, brilliant, mate.
I just would have taken it. I was
Do you know the worst thing, mate? Didn't get a free drink. And he walked there and all. Cheap cunt.
I was and he just went to his bed. Is this more hot beef?
Mate, big man was out a drink with Wolfgang. A box. Still me with my drink. Wolfgang was causing that night. Boom!
Who have you got for Rhodes Kids?
Mate, your special guest is Wolfgang tonight.
Wolfgang! Of course I've got Cody Rhodes. Of course Cody Rhodes is going to win.
Listen, I told you I'd keep it interesting.
Oh, I'm greeting.
Listen,
when's the last time you cried at wrestling?
Would you rather a boring podcast or a fun podcast?
I love this podcast.
So you've
Wolfgang.
got Cody Rhodes. I think it's going to be a straightforward. Didn't be any run-ins or
Sami Zane for sure. There's because he's this, he doesn't. He doesn't know who's kicking in the face. Like half the time, that leg's got a mind of its own and just goes and hits whoever in the face. So, but I think you've got all this Willie side with Kevin. Well, that I kind of hope again, like I said earlier, they get the match with each other at WrestleMania and possibly
that'd be cool. A wee half-hour spot,
like a sort of wee stip,
like
just like Extreme Rules or something.
I feel like the two of them. I think that would be a really tough gauge as well. Who'd be like the bad and who'd be the good guy? Because the two of them. I mean, I know Owens is like the traditional heel, but I feel like at Mania it would be a massive 50-50 crowd just because the both of them have had the
How
hard
good
journey.
is Kevin Owens' t-shirt's been?
I know it's the t-shirt game's
cool,
been
man.
phenomenal.
The one against Cody Rhodes, they came out with the son of a security camera or something like that. It's so pure shit.
IT tech or something, whatever. It's when he came out with the Terry Funk, the Cody sucks eggs one.
I feel like Kevin Owens does deserve foils. I don't think he'll beat the Rumble, but I'd love to see him get a wee title run at the end of the year at some point. I feel like he's the most. I know it's an easy thing to say because you've had guys like Seth Rollins and McIntyre continually put over people the last year, but I feel like Owens is one of the most unselfish guys in the roster. He will
continually, like his whole run.
Oh, he will continually be that guy that's number two. He'll put anyone over. He'll normally lose the big matches, but it almost seems to not matter. I mean, you probably look at Owens' record on pay-per-view, it's not the greatest. I'd be interested to see how many he's actually lost, but he never feels weaker because of it.
thing is, they're paying your pay packet, you don't care.
Aye. Well, the thing is as well for him, I feel like he knows how good he is. I think there's that quiet confidence that he is.
He's often talked about as one of the best of his generation, and it's true. Like, he's amazing.
You think he goes to Dubai or whatever it is, he's getting a free £1 million payout. Easy.
Well, that was a big thing because when he signed his new contract,
that's what I think. A lot of them don't care. What their status is.
Will Owens, I don't
You
know.
look at Undertaker get £10 million for his appearance.
The thing is though,
Saudi Arabia.
I feel like Owens.
You actually think you're like, so what's Kevin Owens get paid?
Well,
Kevin Owens is probably get paid £2 million.
what I was going to say though is Owens has never really been one of those guys that's been up for the Saudi Arabian shows. I know he's done a few.
He started doing them because Sami's doing them.
Aye.
But Sami was literally not allowed to do them because Saudi Arabia was at war with Syria, where Sami's from.
So it's like
so he wasn't permitted to enter the country, and it was weird timing. But they declared peace with Syria right before, I can't remember whatever, and I honestly think I think Sami Zayn.
I can't keep up with it.
I think Sami Zayn got a little chunk of world peace because I think they were like, we want Sami, and it's amazing for him as well because he got to go to Mecca. I don't know enough about it to talk, but like there's a certain path you can take to Mecca that goes through Saudi Arabia that he was never able to do.
I loved him looking with that entrance with his outfit on.
Oh, that was cool, man.
That was amazing.
I loved that.
I thought that was
absolutely
cool.
loved that. The one big man, fucking play, man.
I think it's valid to have concerns about Saudi Arabia, like the government, but I also have concerns about the American government. I certainly have concerns about the UK government. Totally. So if I'm going to boycott every government, I'm concerned about it.
You think you have a black budget? Black budget in America is fucking 600 billion, and you know that's getting spent on. But then you've got hundreds of countries that kind of get paid to kind of full aid. You get a 600 million black budget.
Should be spent on Seth Rollins' attire.
And you don't know that's getting spent on.
King Troy, shout out.
Honestly.
King Troy.
Last year you can go with conspiracy theories all day, but we're talking about Sami Zayn here.
There's no Jesse Ventura here, buddy.
Listen, how good is this? How good is this? Sammy? How good is that?
Ventura's commentary's been so
how
good.
How good is Ventura's?
Do you know
the thing? How good is his
conspiracy theories with Jesse Ventura?
I think the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons.
But as we've said, it's all been wiped from YouTube, which in and of itself is a conspiracy.
And it's an episode they found the thing about 9/11. There's all these plane parts in here and I can see them, but now they've disappeared. What Jesse can do?
From the plane.
If you've created a TV show showing them here and now they're not here, surely the police would get fucking involved and.
So I think Jesse's commentary's been outstanding as well. See the way he tells stories with the heels. Aye, it's the way
I was a Navy SEAL. That's what she says in every podcast. I was a Navy SEAL. And you're like, what do you mean? Aye, you've just told us that every fucking 1,000 podcast you've told us.
So, 4th match on that card.
He was a Navy SEAL in his 4th match.
Imagine this was a 10-match card. We'd
be finished.
We'd be here at midnight.
Welcome to our 3-part series predicting the Royal Rumble that finished 2 weeks ago. But we've not watched it, so don't.
I was a Navy SEAL.
And you can all get the 3rd part on Patreon.
Got fucking Brian Blessed over there.
It's a wee bird for the UK.
Flying Dine over here.
Jade, what was her name?
Brian Blind Breast.
Listen you, I've had enough of your bullshit. I was a Navy SEAL, goddamn you.
What was the last match? So just to sum it up, we've got Cody over here, Kevin Owens. Good luck with Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens was a Navy SEAL, goddamn you.
And then the last match,
Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. 2 out of 3 falls match. Can I just say, from a personal standpoint, I'm so pleased that this match is on pay-per-view because I fucking love DIY.
Yeah.
Gargano versus Ciampa.
2 out of 3 falls as well.
Such an underrated step, especially with tag teams. But Gargano versus Ciampa is my favourite feud of all time. All-time favourite feud.
I feel like...
See, when he started ripping stuff off of rings, like the apron or
just
half, I was like,
just
so
everything
amazing.
about it, the whole story, and Like,
and then their tag teams again, like, oh, by the way, I better fuck you last night, but do you want to go for a drink?
that's wrestling, baby.
Do you know, I also kind of feel like...
That's the name of shows for you, goddammit.
we were like talking about it earlier, but this feels...
You don't forget the Brotherhood.
This feels like it's an NXT from 2019. Looking at this card, it's almost like Triple H has been dying to do something like this for a long time, and it suits the Rumble.
It's Papa Paul's little boys and girls have all grown up.
Aye,
now.
and you can already tell the way they're going to do it. It's probably going to be...
Chatting on my biggest hatred, people that hate wrestling, just watch it and enjoy it, man. It's a good laugh. Like,
I don't mind people that don't enjoy it.
I
I just mind it. You know it's fake.
Oh, that's so annoying, isn't it?
Just
It's
enjoy
like
it,
motherfucker, EastEnders is
I
fake.
actually got one of the guys. I got wee Tony security guard from my work back into wrestling. She's like, oh, it's a fucking pile of shit and all that, and blah blah blah. And I says, Tony, just watch it for what it is.
Did he
just
say?
watch it, right? And he's get back in it again, right? So he started watching for like the early 80s to 90s. He's get back into Ultimate Warrior and all that, and I'm like, he's pure loving it.
He's got a wee ways to go though.
He's like, I've not watched something modern. I was trying to watch Royal Rumble 94, but Ultimate Warrior was
Royal
there.
Rumble 94.
I was like, mate, you need to get past the Ultimate Warrior, mate. Just please get
You
past
really
that.
do because
That's another podcast in itself.
The rise and fall of... I think there was a DVD.
I
made
don't
of
think
it.
it's a rise and fall. I think it's just a fall.
self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior.
Remember we watched that?
It was good.
Remember the WWE released the fall of the Ultimate Warrior and then released the rise and fall of the Ultimate Warrior. There was two different DVDs.
Well, it was. They did the one before that he refused to participate in, where they were just like, "Look at this coked up walloper. He was so difficult to work with."
And then he died on Raw. And
then
like,
he
oh wait a minute, maybe we
died on Raw.
Maybe we should remake this DVD. And then all of a sudden, it went from a fucking 48-minute epic to a 3-hour epic. A fucking Ultimate Warriors epic matches.
This podcast is going to be a 3-hour epic.
It's
Mind when the Ultimate Warrior dropped dead on Raw.
Oh, it was so funny. Remember he...
Let me tell you this, brother.
Remember he put in the body bag?
Hit Warrior's famous catchphrase, let me tell you something.
Remember when
Do you know
Papa Shango
something?
spat?
Well, do you know something? Like, see that thing you're talking about with Papa Shango? I remember watching that as a wee guy, and what I found awkward, this is before they figured out caskets and coffins. So Papa Shango
Papa Shango was decided he was a pig one day.
He had enough of his golf days and embraced the life.
He's like, I'm not making much money as a fucking Papa Shango. I'm just going to pig.
Papa Shango. Work experience.
I was a Papa Shango.
I mean,
and
And then there was an ultimate fighting machine for
I
him.
mean, £200 a month, man. I came up with a cane, making fucking £300,000 a year.
And now I'm a
Key skills.
But
But
there was no money in being a Papa Shango.
how to become a pimp.
I ain't no Papa Shango. I'm a pimp, man.
So anyway, I think DIY are going to win that match.
I
I'm the
reckon
God.
DIY.
I'm always a Godfather.
I think DIY will win it. I also think that match will get room to breathe. I think they'll do 10 minutes per fall. I actually think Owens and Cody Rhodes will get half an hour, and I think the 2 out of 3 will get half an hour as well. Because you look at it, probably the Royal Rumble will get an hour each. So you've got average. I think they've been doing like 3 hours for the big shows lately.
I don't think I think the men's Royal Rumble got a lot more time. I don't see them putting that much time in the women's Royal Rumble.
I really hope that's not
there's
true.
I don't think there's that many.
I reckon the women's
Women
Rumble.
they
They're
can.
about the same length. Like,
No,
right?
I don't think
55
there's a lot of
minutes
women
each or
that
something,
can do this. If I said that, bye.
Did you just press that on yourself while you were talking?
I just don't think there's you two, man. I fucking hate you two. This whole podcast, man, I'm trying to laugh, man. I'm trying to make people laugh, man, and you're just taking the piss.
So who have we got then? Who have you got? DIY or Motor City Machine Guns?
Who's your boy?
Put some Rodney Piper.
DIY.
So what? That's the unanimous one.
So
we're all
actually,
behind the boys.
I also made ad it was my birthday this week, and these cunts never answered me happy birthday because they're a couple of shit.
We both sent you a happy
on
birthday.
Facebook, I DF'd her.
I tagged you and
Prick.
no, we said it the same day.
Yeah.
Right, who did her?
in the
You
group
can't say
chat.
it. Last year, this same time last year, I didn't know it was my birthday till my sister told me. His sister,
Yeah, I happened this year as well.
his sister phoned him saying happy birthday, and he's like, is it my birthday?
I was in work, right? And then I got a text off my sister. She's like, oh, happy birthday. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, what the fuck is she slabbing about? I'm like, I looked at the date and I was like, oh, fuck, it's my birthday day. I was like,
What did you do that day? Did you not get yourself a wee kebab or something to celebrate?
Kelman, I get myself a kebab every night.
And sing yourself happy birthday.
I love the disappointment.
I put a candle on it.
The disappointment in your tone there that you realised I didn't know you got a kebab every night. But
No,
it was your birthday. And did you have a nice birthday?
It was my birthday on... What day was the 28th? I've actually got again.
It was
I didn't date for that, was it?
What day is this?
No, it was Tuesday. I had because I phoned in sick on Monday. I wasn't feeling too good, and then go to Tuesday.
What, on your birthday? That doesn't look suspicious.
No.
I can't come in today. I've got a birthday cake.
Got a whole cake.
No, that's how bad it was, right? I actually wasn't feeling too good on Monday, right? And I was like, I can't work, I'm not feeling amazing. I was like, I just don't feel too good. Go to Tuesday, way to work, thought nothing of it, right? And I go to the fucking 2 o'clock.
Why have I got no grey hairs today?
Right? I've got grey hair everywhere. Even my fucking chest hair's grey.
I think I see your pubes, man.
Are you a dirty bastard? Right, no, but I got to... I left my phone in the office and then I came back to it and I was like, listening to a couple of messages and I was like, oh, happy birthday. And I was like, what? Right, cool. I missed my fucking birthday.
According to you, your birthday was 24 hours before that. But it was
Listen, Kelman, if anybody asks, big man's 29. Were you laughing at it? I'm 10 years younger than every one of you.
I still remember that time we went into that nightclub in New York and we go to the door.
No, she went the best one ever.
Remember they got like that, so there's the three standing and the guy goes like at the door. We're 21 at the time. Guy's like, right, ID, you two there, me and Adam. Let's see ID. You go to get your ID. And he's like, oh, no, you, big man.
Not you, sir.
No.
Thank you for your service. I was a Navy SEAL. I was a Navy SEAL. Is that Jesse Ventura?
Not today, brother. That's Hulk Hogan, buddy.
Don't worry about it.
Just remember you call it that. You're like,
No.
I'm only 21.
That's the best story. The best story I've ever got was in Berlin. We missed our flight, right?
Oh my god.
Right? Fucking, we went through trains, and honestly, we went through security, right? And there's this wee Chinese guy with about fucking 39,000 hundreds bits of fruit, and he's fucking suitcase, right? Right, we're sitting there for about 45-50 minutes. I'm like, go on, get one of this guy's baggage, help me fuck off and skip the queue and just get somebody else on, right? No, this woman's gone through every bit of fucking fruit, right?
Pomegranate.
Fucking hell, right? 10 minutes to the fucking flight. Big man and Kelman and Kieran fucking running to the airport, right? The guy's like, oh, flights took off, and I'm like to him, mate, is there nothing you can do? Right?
Voice in the sky.
Voice in the sky. The fucking flight's taking off. I'm just looking at a plane taking off.
I just remember standing there for a minute and I was like, I guess I'm not going to work tomorrow.
I'm actually looking at a window and there's a fucking Ryanair flight taking off of the fucking grid and I'm like...
It got worse for you that night because we ended up getting put up in it was like one of the generators, the Airbnb hostel things.
We got an Airbnb, right?
£10 each.
Right.
Didn't realise we're on the same landing as us was a
I still
school.
was there.
They're bamming them up,
Right.
chatting the door all night.
He bams chatting up my door, right? And I'm
You're
like,
like, okay, 15 years old.
I went over the sharpest thing I could see, and you bastards come back, I'll fucking stab you.
What was it?
Right? I can't remember, just something sharp.
I mean, you said the sharpest
But the worst thing was,
like,
right?
the sharpest thing I can see right there is...
The worst thing is, right? I went to the toilet at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? This is the worst thing about this is the worst thing about the story, right? I had to go for a piss at 2 in the morning, right? I went for the piss Sunday and I slash at 2 in the morning, right? And on the writing on the wall in the left was fucking Ralph will shag you at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, it's fucking 2 a.m. I was like, I've just run away back to the room for big fucking Ralph that came and shagged me.
Anyway, that's the Royal Rumble recap.
Sorry, there's always a random story. Sorry, but Ralph
I never know what way they're going to go. I couldn't have told you there was going to be fruit in that story.
There was pomegranates, kiwis.
I've always got a random story, don't worry.
But
He's always part of them.
I think we've got to the end of the episode. Is there anything else you're looking forward to in the Rumble before we wrap up?
I mean,
Just don't get shagged.
for you. I had everything.
Let's hear them.
Just no Randall
I'm
shagging.
going to
them.
speed.
Let's go.
I'll speed run you my
Let's
pitches.
go, man.
Right, go. Right, what's your predictions, my man? Let's go.
So these are not predictions, my friend. These are pitches now. These
You're
are
going for
the
this.
land of fantasy.
I'm putting this on Sky Bet. You're costing me £200 right now.
So can I quickly say that I feel like we might actually get a piece of fantasy booking as the main event of WrestleMania, and that
Oh, what if John Cena won and then he fought Cody and then they had the match and he won his record?
that's probably going to happen. So I thought I'd go somewhere totally different, and I'm going to have John Cena win the Rumble. Comes out on Raw, wherever, to make his challenge. Says, "This is my chance to break a record to win my 17th world title." It's 17.
I think he's at 17 now. Aye, this will be 17th.
So this would be
Yeah,
my
you gotta be
17th. Be the most decorated champion in the history of this illustrious business. Blah blah blah. Talks about the current champions and kind of gives that yes no, and he said, "But I want to do something different. I want to make this title reign memorable. I want to do something not only that I didn't think I could do, but nobody thought I could do." And he said, "And for that reason, I'm going for a title that I can defend in London, in Paris, in Tokyo, America, Scotland, Canada, Mexico. I believe that I will challenge Joe Hendry for the TNA World Championship at WrestleMania."
I'm stroking my
That
spiky
would
beard
be
now.
fucking amazing.
They have been in this kind of nebulous space around each other for how
That'd be
long?
so good.
And I just think, like, we're going to get a moment with them at the Rumble, I think.
Yeah.
But I just think TNA title's a world title, right? It still counts.
absolutely.
It would
I hate when you don't count the TNA title as a world title. Like if you're a world champion,
and think,
Like,
I think they will
Cause
now.
like-
I think they actually will now. See now.
because like Mick Foley didn't count as world title.
No, but I think now that they've got that joint deal,
like AJ Styles didn't count as world
I
title.
think the joint deal might change that. The way WWE's always seem to look at it as if it's not in the universe, they don't count it. But now that TNA is part of the same
they
branch,
talk about Noah, they talk about New Japan, they say everything but
always-
AEW's
it's
initials.
always
like,
it's
Yeah.
anything apart
wrestling
from
exists now.
It's anything but TNA.
That would-
I always think
that would be epic.
TNA and ECW.
that would be absolutely
I'll
epic.
really quickly do my women's as well because I'm so proud.
You're the most guy that I've seen
I'm the most guy.
that's that ever like
Still the champ.
that has this much. Gonna fuck off!
My
That's the
name,
fucking thing.
my name is Chris Vicious and I'm the most guy.
Oh, but like you've got the most information on your phone, and me and Kelvin just wing it.
But this is
I
because
love
I just sit and think about wrestling.
No, but I love it. No, I absolutely love it. It's like because it brings ideas to me as well, and brings ideas to Chris.
So,
But we just pure wing it.
Bianca Belair wins the Rumble. I understand that there's like a lot of complications with like what's happening with Jade Cargill. She's a tag champ, blah 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 blah. But I really want Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I think that's the
That'd be
women's.
cool, man.
That's kind of like they're the new Becky Charlotte. And we've had these little exchanges and moments. And did they no square up before Survivor
They
Series?
did.
Like, and I just want to see it. And I think to facilitate it, you turn Bianca heel.
Oh.
So basically, Bianca wins the Rumble. Jade Cargill comes back in the course of the Rumble and seems to have issue with Naomi and Bianca. That's because they attacked her. Primarily Naomi, but it was with Bianca's knowledge. And they were kind of, the justification was like, you're not good enough. You know, they need someone better. In the meantime, Bianca's off in an ascendancy. But her and Naomi draft in a third person, which is Jada Parker, who is more than ready for the main event to
That is
form a
cool.
little faction
I like that.
to kind of gang up on her. But in the end, you have Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania, and you have Naomi versus Jade Cargill.
There's two huge matches.
Bianca wins, Jade wins, they has fight at SummerSlam. You've got all that booking there.
I also
there
like
you
the
go.
fact. I like the fact that brings in, because I think we were talking about it earlier, but it brings Naomi straight back into the mix as well. Who I feel has had a really solid year.
And there's one more thing that I feel like if we did a Royal Rumble episode and did not talk about this, I'd be so upset. And it is my favourite Royal Rumble moment of all time. The 2005
Nice.
Royal Rumble.
I'm not going to talk. Oh, pull a button. We've not actually talked about a favourite Rumble moment. So you go yours, you go
Yeah.
mine, and I'll go mine. So we've not talked about that at all.
But this is like, I've got a few here and a few just like mentions of like great, like 92. And can I say something about your boy Roy Rodney Piper
Aye.
at the 92 Rumble? he looks so fucking good, man.
I know he does.
Like that's like
I'll
the
shag him.
IC. Oh, he looks hot as fuck. Like if you want to
Mate,
see a
see
sexy
if
Rodney
See if I
Piper,
was steaming on a night out and I seen fucking fucking Roy Rumble. I seen Rodney Piper
Royal Piper.
at the cat house on a
I'm
Friday
just
night.
going to say,
2 a.m. I'd be like, mate,
ladies and
you
gentlemen,
want shagged?
a 1992 Roddy Piper. Do you have a little treat?
Look at that hair, man. You're looking at
The
that.
hair's
See
amazing.
if you're behind and wearing the kilt. You might know as a guy the woman.
The 92 Rumbles where he beat Mountie, wasn't
Aye,
it? For the
and
IC
that's
title.
setting up the Brett.
The Brett Roddy Piper match.
You imagine, Kelman, you laugh. But
Robbie Piper.
But my
Roddy
number
Piper
one,
can do better than you.
What were you saying to us?
he could do better than any of us in '92.
Oh.
It was
He
downhill,
looks
but,
such a
like,
shagger.
oh, anyway, like I could talk about how good he looks in the '92 Rumble.
I
all
also
night.
appreciate that
All
message
night.
you sent me on Facebook. Thanks.
Rodney
But,
Piper.
Roy,
He knows I love
Roy
my
Rodney
He knows I
Piper.
love my hot rod.
but my favourite moment of the Royal Rumble, and then we can wrap up with yours, is 2005. Batista and John Cena. I think it's 2005. They eliminate each other. Vince McMahon storms the ring in a fury.
That was the weirdest thing
Tears
ever.
both of his quads and has to sit in the ring screaming.
You didn't know if that was fake or real. You were actually
It
sitting
was
there like,
real. He
it's
really
real.
did it. He chucked
No, I know
it.
it was real, but you were actually sitting watching that
And
like.
it's especially with the context of what a bad
I
guy
didn't,
he is
I
and
didn't, I
everything.
didn't watch wrestling at this point. I went
Funniest.
half 1999 to about 2009. I started watching again.
That 2005 Rumble was so memorable as well, though, because at the time they had no idea who was going to get the rocket yet between Batista and Cena. So him coming out of the ring and that happening to his quads was kind of like, well, like who actually was supposed to win, and then the improvising towards it, restarting the match. How are you going to get Vince out of the ring? Because Vince is just sitting there like, get me
How
out
are
of
you
here.
going to get Vince out of the ring? He couldn't fucking move.
Aye, that was a worry. I probably, you look at that setting the precedent for like the next 10 years as well, because I know Batista didn't hang around as long as Cena, but the two of them were such
That
big
was
stars.
the new era. That
Aye.
was, and like that's probably my biggest red flag in wrestling is that I love the ruthless aggression era.
I thought it was great. I enjoyed it.
It's one of my favourite periods in wrestling.
It was the first. I think it was the
There's
first.
a lot of shite in there,
Aye.
but there's always been a lot of
The
shit.
ruthless aggression was the first time they started introducing a mixture of not just the violence from the Attitude Era and not just the great matches that we've had in the last 10 years. I think it brought a middle portion where it was like, we need to rebuild some big stars here, but we can also do that in a method that can have good matches, because as much as I love the Attitude Era didn't have that many good matches. Most of them,
Actually, it was like
was car crashes.
It was 6 minute match.
it was car crash TV. And
Wrestling was not the focus. That
No.
was the thing. And you still got a lot of good
and
matches
you watched-
in there.
I think a lot of the time you were watching it for the cliffhanger of what happened in the last Raw, right? Okay, what's happening with Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, or what's happening in some of like the DX and what do you call them?
Segments.
The
That's what it is. That's what it is. Segments.
DX and Nation of Domination. They had the sub angle, and then you had everything else that was going on beside that. But I think that was what made that work so well, was the storylines. Whereas the actual matches, maybe bar a few bangers, they weren't that great. The pay-per-views, I mean, you look at WrestleMania 17 and 15, two great WrestleManias, but apart from them, the Royal Rumble, obviously with Cactus Jack and Triple H and The Rock and
That's
shit.
a great rub. I mean, like Taz.
Oh,
That debut
Like-
of Taz. I mean, Taz didn't he was
They did
so
that. This is what they did to Taz. Taz was amazing, just coming in with that and destroying Kurt Angle. And then it was just, I always thought like the worst mistake they ever made was he took Taz at a commentary and then brought him in the ring and he just destroyed him. And you're like, oh, this is such a great storyline you could have. Like Taz is a fucking.
I feel like Taz got a lot of heat from the infamous story about
You'll get
was
a
it Tiger?
reputation for
Aye,
being
so
like.
like I think it was like a Tiger suplex he'd done in
Aye.
Kurt Angle in the debut, and Vince wasn't happy about it. They went backstage and Vince went through him saying you nearly injured one of our best stars. And when you actually look at Taz after, you look at Taz after that though, and he never really done anything else. Like
No, he never really.
I
He
mean,
had that storyline and then he had the storyline with Stone Cold beating him up. That was
Aye.
it.
There's a lot of scuttlebutt about that time as well, that a lot of guys didn't want a job to someone who was 5'8", and that's another thing that I think we're well short of now. Like we guys can just be great.
That's
Like,
how good the Daniel Bryan storyline was. Because remember,
buy
everybody thought
into it.
Daniel Bryan was going to win the Royal Rumble at number 30, and it was Rey Mysterio coming on
that
stage.
was such a...
And
I love Rey Mysterio,
Rey
but that was
Mysterio
such a...
gets so much
Oh,
hate for
that's-
that.
Oh,
But
That's
then,
so
obviously,
brutal
of
on
course,
him, though.
I
Daniel
know.
Bryan won the 2 matches.
Can you imagine being Rey Mysterio standing gorilla
WrestleMania.
position? Getting ready to come out, man.
Rey Mysterio gets so much hate.
Rumble.
He gets
they're
he gets so much hate.
My knee.
Oh, man.
My knee popped
feel
out
like-
from all your booing.
I can just imagine Rey Mysterio standing at the gorilla position, knowing what everyone's wanting to see. He suddenly comes out. I've never seen a crowd so deflated to hear booyaka, booyaka.
It was so sad because I remember.
I felt sorry. I actually felt
I
sorry.
remember
I felt,
watching.
I felt sorry as a wrestling fan watching for him because I knew I was expecting Daniel Bryan to come out, but then when I see Daniel Bryan come out, I seen him just in the booze, and I was like, "You fucked him up, man. You've done this guy an injustice."
Aye, it was brutal. No one was coming out of that.
It was harsh. To round up what my favourite Royal Rumble moment was, I would probably say it was 1995, and it was Shawn Michaels winning the Royal Rumble, and it wasn't a great Royal Rumble by any stretch, but it was the first year. I know they'd done the kind of tease with like Luger and Bret Hart the year before where both of them won it, but I remember actually thinking Shawn Michaels was eliminated. I was only
But
like,
that was like the first bait and switch finish,
Aye.
wasn't it? Like,
It was
Bulldog's like, I fucking won
Aye,
it! I fucking won
it was
it!
like the first time it wasn't won by a clothesline over the top rope. But
Aye.
I actually remember watching it live. Up my granny's bit, funnily enough.
Oh, your granny's bit, once you're in a bird.
A nice team van.
I'm a bird bit.
Cashman,
Don't know her. You don't know her.
Cashman,
She watches ECW and you don't know her.
She watches TNA.
but it was always that visual of Bulldog.
She's in the Sami Zone.
I generally remember thinking Bulldog had won the match, and I was already like a massive Shawn Michaels fan at the time. I see when Shawn Michaels eliminated them, I remember thinking, this is like you're saying, it was the first one, it wasn't a bait and switch. I was like, what has actually happened here? And I actually, as much as it didn't climax at WrestleMania 11, that whole angle, it was a kind of birth of Shawn Michaels becoming as big as he was. He had a few moments in between. I know a year later he would go on and win the title off Bret, but I feel like that trajectory started with that WrestleMania 11 moment. The Royal Rumble 95, massive part of that, and obviously the Bulldog. At that time, Bulldog and Shawn Michaels had quite a lot of history. Shawn Michaels had obviously won the IC title off him. Bulldog never really had Shawn Michaels' number. And that one moment you think Bulldog's finally done it, he's won the Rumble. Nope. Shawn Michaels straight in, axe hand out with the back, wins the Rumble. And it's not a great Rumble, it's probably one of the worst Rumbles, but that ending just, I loved that ending. It was always one of my favourites. What's yours?
I don't know why I go with this. Is man a funny story or a good story?
It's just up to yourself. Is this
Right,
Rodney Piper
so-
and Jake the Snake?
No, well,
The Snakes?
I don't want to tell this story or no. So, my
Is this
favourite-
about wrestling or is this you and
It's
Belgian?
it's absolutely nothing to do with me, right? So my favourite Royal Rumble was 1998, right? So that's when I first started to get back into wrestling because I stopped watching it after SummerSlam Wembley. Was that 91, 92?
92.
92.
You stopped after
I
that.
stopped after that. I didn't
That's the
start.
first pay-per-view I can
But
remember.
I didn't start. I didn't
I'm
start.
older than you.
But I didn't start watching it again to 98, and then I stopped watching it in 2002, 2003. But I started watching it again in 2010. It was just all because of distribution channels. That was it.
That's a lot of it is like your own ability to watch
Right.
it.
That's all I was doing. So I remember 1988. Right? Fucking loved it. I fucking loved it.
Do you know one of my most underrated moments? I can't remember if it was the 98 Royal Rumble or the 99, but do you remember?
Do you remember the China porno magazine Playboy? It's not even me, by the way.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, but do you remember it?
Do you remember China being in Playboy? Yes.
China was
The porno mag.
China was in
The
Playboy,
porno
right?
mag.
And there was a guy in my class, right?
Can we
Right,
get like
right.
a Playboy for
Do you
that
remember,
says
remember
the
that? Do you
porno
remember that?
mag?
Do you remember that store?
With
Oh,
Sami Zone
No,
under
I'm
it.
still talking to you. Right? Do you remember that start of RS McCall?
That's me cool.
Right, that's not even a fucking story.
How's this your favourite Rumble?
Corey listen. Right, so remember they sold China Playboy in RS McCall? I spoiled my class, right? Made his granny go in and buy it for him because he was underage, right? She bought it for him, right? And he had it for 4 or 5 days, right? And then he started lending it out to the boys in school.
This sounds like one of those wee fucking cartoons in the Limit Show.
I was silly, man.
And his famous human school was he bought the China porno. China Playboy. But my favourite play. Oh,
What's your favourite Playboy?
My favourite Royal Rumble.
Spankmaster.
Was Royal Rumble 98. But I just thought I had to add that into that chat because I know China was in Royal Rumble 99. So 98 and 98 is my favourite Royal Rumbles because he's Stone Cold and Steve Austin.
The audience loved it, man. The audience loved it.
He made his granny go in and buy him a porno.
A porno.
It's the first time I've had Playboy go
Have
down.
his pocket money?
Oh, anyway, troops, that's I think
And
that's
he
us.
died.
And then they landed after the boys in school. I don't know what they were doing for 2 days at a time, but
Well, whatever happens to your granny's bit, stays in your granny's bit.
aye,
You don't know her!
I just last at my granny's bit.
Oh, anyway, troops, that's rounding us up for another episode. That was our Royal Rumble predictions, featuring some steering sideways, both ways, left ways, up RS McCall magazine ways, all sorts. Hope you enjoy the Rumble, and if whatever you're doing for it, hope it's an absolute belter. Whether you're watching it in the house, whether you're watching with your pals,
If
This
you're in
is-
the Sami Zone,
if you're in the Sami Zone.
give us a shout, we'll be there.
Let us know if you're in the Sami Zone. You want to know who you're into. That's us checking it, troops. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.
Love you, bye.